The people of God that we read about in the Old Testament, they were literally formed as a people out of captivity to the ancient Egyptians. And so the heart of the Jewish story is a heart of liberation and freedom from oppression and slavery and captivity. It's where we get the entire Exodus message. It's where we get our own practice of communion as Christians. We've inherited this gospel of liberation and freedom from oppression. It's the beating heart not just of the Jewish message, it's the beating heart of our message as Christians. And I think it's a much better explanation for why we see the kinds of ethnic and racial outcome disparities that we see in the United States. I think it just doesn't make any reasonable sense for us, for example, to claim that all the problems that the Black community faces, that all the problems that the Hispanic community faces are simply the result of their own individual and personal moral failings, their own bad choices, their own capitulation to a culture that isn't healthy. I think that those explanations are not only racist, they just don't make good sense. I think that when we live in a society that 400 years ago imported Black people from their native lands for the purpose of enslaving them so that white people in this country could build wealth on the backs of Black bodies. And then after that, we fought a bloody civil war over it. And after that, we continued to terrorize Black lives and Black people through groups like the KKK, and continued to segregate Black people through policies like redlining, and continued to segregate Black people through laws about miscegenation, for example, or laws about segregation, and continued to use policies like laws in the South around Jim Crow laws and policies, and continued to subjugate and withhold access to goods and wealth and property for an entire group of people, then it's just no wonder that at this time, in 2020, we are still dealing with the outcome of 400 years of racist practices and racist policies and racist institutions in the United States. It's no wonder that in this country we are still, 50 years after the last civil rights movement, still dealing with these kinds of horrific racial practices and outcomes.